Hey there, it's Rachel Mullins, the host of Hashtag No Filter Fridays on Public House Media.
This is Jessica Hammer, co-host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Maddie and I talk about all things pageant related, especially our experiences in the Miss America organization. A new show comes out bi-weekly, every other Thursday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome to the C. Jane Sell podcast,
a relatable sales podcast for your weekly dose of sanity. I'm your host, Chelsea Dupre.
And I'm your host, Leigh Nevis. Hello, and welcome to another episode of C. Jane Sell with your girls, Chelsea and Leigh. We are here today at Maddox and Rose in Nulu. Maddox and Rose is a new space that Chelsea and I visited, and we were immediately obsessed, so we wanted to talk to the two women that started it. Today we have Jamie Tronzo and Leigh Robinson on the podcast. Yay!
Hi!
Thanks for coming here.
Yeah.
Yay! I was trying really hard to pronounce everyone's names right. So Chelsea and I wanted to come here today and just kind of talk to you all about how Maddox and Rose started, why it's like my dream space, why I want to like live here, why it's so beautiful.
Have you decorate our house?
And we're obsessed
Sneak
with
us
it.
into the blue seal, whatever that is.
Otherwise known as Blue Ocean Trader.
There we go. We're on the right.
Seal, ocean, they're like a thing.
Yeah. So for those of our listeners who have not been here, kind of give us a small summary of what Maddox and Rose is.
So we've got a storefront, Maddox and Rose Marketplace, that is custom candle pouring. We also offer other products, sugar scrubs, lotions, sprays, but it's just kind of a space that you can come individually with a group and create your own blend. So we've got a wall of 70 different scents you can choose from and really just create your own scent. We also have our design office, which is for Maddox and Rose in-house. So we do a lot of our consulting here and just meetings, and we kind of create it under one hub.
Mm-hmm. So hopefully a place where everybody enjoys being and enjoys the space, and it kind of gave us a creative outlet to showcase our design through the store. And so when people come in, we hope that they love the space, and then kind of goes back to our design business and help create your own space for you.
That's awesome. So you guys do design for homes as well as like events, right?
Right.
That's
so
awesome.
I came from a real estate background, and Leigh came from an event background, and so we kind of figured out a way to merge the two and make sense to us, and we're trying to make sense to everybody else.
Crazy for a very long time, but we've made it work. I feel.
I think so.
Yeah.
Hopefully everybody likes it, enjoys it.
So tell us about where you got the name for your business, because I think that's really cool.
We struggled for a while to come up with a name. We would search for something, and then someone would have something almost exactly like it or the same thing, and finally we said, why don't we just use our family names that we've named our children? Nobody will have those. And so Jack Maddox is my son, and then Riley Rose is Leigh's daughter. So we brought them together, and it seems to work.
Yeah, they're kind of like the mascots for us. So, and they each have totally unique personalities, which I feel like comes out in us individually, and like also the aesthetic here. Jack is like really high energy, and Riley's very meticulous, and so it's like kind of a perfect blend, and it just has like a long-standing meaning for us, and hopefully moving forward they will take over one day or do something great with it.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. And how did you guys meet to become like this lady power duo?
Well, thank you. Yeah. Leigh and I both worked for City Properties Group, which is now Wayland Ventures.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. Very awesome.
So I was in residential property management, and Leigh was the event director at the Henry Clay.
Very cool.
We bonded over our love for Pinterest. I think we like sat together and worked out and then would pin
Yes.
Had the same pins.
Lots of pins.
So we knew that was forever a good marriage.
Yes.
It's hilarious. Doesn't every great idea start on Pinterest?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know what we did before Pinterest, but we send a lot of pictures back and forth to each other, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I looked through our messages today, and we have over 2,000 photos.
Oh my gosh.
Texted back and forth between us. And that was embarrassing to admit. We like to just share ideas and bounce them off of each other. And
Come to fruition.
yes, exactly.
That is so cool. So I want to kind of get into the nitty gritty of like, you're starting your business. What did you have to do to get into this space? Were you running out of your houses? And then you're like, can't do that anymore. Like,
I think we used all the free Wi-Fi in the city.
Yeah. People probably started charging for Wi-Fi after we came there.
We became addicted to caffeine purely because we had to buy coffee because we were using the Wi-Fi at coffee stores. We both were working full-time. Jamie was at Bullet at this time. She was the manager at the visitor center, and I was the director at Henry Clay. And we legitimately were just working out of our own houses. So we were trying to we created Maddox and Rose first 2 years ago, and we were just trying to do it all. And then my cousin's wife works for the Candle Lab, which is based out of Columbus, and we were introduced to the whole partnership store option, which is how we got the idea for this storefront for Marketplace. So we actually signed our lease last July, and then had a long, hard road of construction for this building because it was a new build. And in the meantime, we literally just hopped around from place to place, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of long hours. But we are friends with a lot of entrepreneurs, and we just thought that was just the hustle. It was just what we were going to have to sacrifice to make it work. And at some point, we would get to rest. We're still looking for that point. I don't know that it ever comes.
It was definitely got better once we left our full-time jobs. We put in notice. We both put in the notice on the same day.
Yeah.
And then construction was delayed, so we asked both of our jobs, and luckily they were nice enough to keep us. Like, remember when I quit? Yeah.
Forget about that.
Take that back.
Yeah.
Just for a little
So we
bit.
left at the end of last year. So December 31st was our last day, and then we were just kind of a waiting game and preparation for this. But we picked out every single thing that you see in this entire store. We've handpicked and probably had at least a 20-minute discussion over spoons and every little thing. So it was nice that it gave us that time to be able to be very selective with everything that we did. And then we opened in June, so 6 months of just kind of like pushing everybody to get everything finished for us. So
I mean, how many hours a day do you think you put in? Like, especially like when you started. Because I feel like people are like, ooh, entrepreneur. It's going to be amazing. But I mean, real talk. Like,
I mean, I specifically remember an evening that Jamie came over and we worked until 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I think she left at 6 a.m. to go back home to get her kids ready to go to school before we had to go into our actual job, I think.
Yeah.
So there was nights, I mean, everything just kind of all collapsed at once, and
Good word.
I don't even know if I would put a time on it. And some of this is fun work for us, so it still doesn't seem like work. I mean, when we're looking for an inspiration for a client, or when we're trying to create a space that we knew we were going to live in, we were happy to sit there for hours upon hours and look for inspiration and look at what we wanted, because it's a blessing that we got this at all, but B, it's what we love. So
a lot of it doesn't seem like work. It's just, we obviously put a lot of tasks on our list of things to do, but even in our design business, a lot of designers will charge by the hour, and we still don't even really consider ourselves designers, because we're just every project we're like, okay, we can improve on this, but we always do a project-based cost and not an hourly, because we don't want to put a cap on. If it's going to take us an extra 3 hours to do it the right way, then I'd rather do that than much to probably everybody else's dismay.
Definitely. Well, that's crazy. I mean, I think too, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, because you guys are doing all the thing. I mean, this has to be, what are the challenges you face with your family? I mean, because when I'm talking to somebody, and even from like my own personal experience, when you go into a business, it's like, yes, this is awesome. I am woman, hear me roar, like I'm doing the things, but there's no such thing as a balance. So what have you done to help like juggle family? I mean, that weighs on marriages, kids' relationships, friends' relationships, parents, and people like, you're going to fail, you're going to succeed. How can you get me in on this? Like, I want a part. And we talked about this last week. Like, how can you include me, you know? So how would you give advice to someone who's going through this, like, you're not going to find balance. So this is what we've done to help maybe combat those things.
I feel like we take it where we can get it. Like, it's a lot like scheduling. Like, you have to make the time to do the things that you want to do. But it also, we help each other. I think, like, force. A lot of our friends that are entrepreneurs don't have a partner, and for us, that's like been the biggest benefit, is having someone to talk to and like
can relate.
Take the day off, go work out. Like someone else that's telling you to do it. Sometimes a little easier to hear than to make yourself do it. But I don't know that there is a balance. I think you just kind of find it when you can get it. Yeah, take a time out when you need it.
Yeah, I think we both in the beginning said, okay, from 6 to 8 we will not speak to each other on text message, and we will not talk about business. I think that lasted like 24 hours, and then we were texting. So we are constantly trying to improve ourselves as parents, as wives, thinking about things that we can do or incorporate on the weekends or during the week just to have that quality time. I think it's a great thing that we're showing our kids how to be independent and just really live your dream, but it comes at a cost. I mean, there's hours that I don't see Riley, or weekends where I don't see Riley, but then there's these Tuesdays that I spend the entire day with her, and we say we're not going to work today and we're just going to hang out with them. Or if that means we're in bed for 2 hours and we don't look at our computer, and we snuggle and we watch a movie and we do all the things that we love, then we just enjoy that for what it is and make sure they know they're loved. And we try to incorporate them in any way we possibly can. Our husbands are always doing work for us in the store. Joe was just here building shelves downstairs. But I think that if they feel like they're part of the sweat and they see it come to fruition, it helps them say, okay, don't worry about it, I got you tonight, you know? And Riley and Joe and Jack's picture over there, and just like incorporating them in this business, I feel it's helped.
Yes, for sure. And I think because the hours are sometimes limited, then we try and make the things that we're doing more special. Like, maybe it's not just breakfast, maybe like decorate the pancakes or something, like just making like little mundane tasks seem more special to them. Because to a 3-year-old, like if you put a smiley face and chocolate chips,
That's all
I think that's the best thing ever. So I think just trying to like find more
sacrifices.
special things.
I mean, I don't have a social life the way that I used to, but there's other things that I enjoy more than sitting at dinner for 4 hours. So, you know, you just kind of got to cut back the excess and just like hone in on what's most important, I guess.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely getting better at saying no to things that you don't want to do.
That
is still
That is a struggle.
It's tough.
working.
it's so hard.
Sometimes
Oh
it's
my
just
gosh.
eliminated by sheer necessity.
Yeah.
But it definitely puts it into perspective, like who you want to spend your time with and what's the priority. Makes it a little bit easier when you really have to choose.
Absolutely. What do you think was the biggest hurdle or challenge that, and it could be different for both of you, that you all kind of overcame, or that you realized that you didn't know you might run into this whenever you were starting everything?
I think I hit creative blocks because I'm so forced to do things that are not creative a lot of the time to own a business.
Yeah.
And I didn't know really how to work through that. Like, there are moments of times where I come in here and I cannot visualize anything in my head. And we just took a trip to Chicago, and it was like a refresh for us. We left so inspired. And I think that because we are doing so many different things for a business, like, we can sometimes just hit a roadblock. And we're not doing anybody good service by doing the things that we're not good at. So we need to like hire somebody else in that can help us like accounting and finances, not necessarily our strong suit. So we're trying to be better about delegating so that we don't hit those blocks and that we can stay creative and be the best we can be for our clients and people.
Yeah, I totally agree. That letting go of things, I think, is we're so used to like doing everything ourselves, and we're like, we got to save money, so we're not going to pay someone to do this. But then realizing that like you're going to earn more time to me, would I be making more money for the business if we just paid someone to do this? Because it's going to take them 2 hours. What will take us 2 days?
Right.
For sure, I think that's a good one.
One's a hard one, especially when you built it from the ground up.
It's your baby. You don't want to let it go.
No.
It's really scary. Because that's kind of what I'm going... So I'm starting a business as well, and that's kind of...
Congrats.
Thank you. It's terrifying, but we're doing it.
Hearing all these hardships we're throwing at you.
Well, it's nice because it's like... It's not perfect for everyone. No one just like starts a business and hits no roadblocks and becomes a millionaire and then blah, 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 that's it. Like everyone has different struggles that they go through, and everyone has like their own story and their own creative process of how they brought everything like to be what it is. So what is your all's, I guess, like successes? Like what are some really exciting moments that you all have experienced in these first like couple months of being open that have been like a nice like at the end of the day, you just take like a big like sigh of relief and like, hey, like we did X, Y, and Z.
So we have all of our transactions on an app, and I think like when me and Jamie are both not here, we like constantly are checking in to see if money is coming in. And there's like a threshold where we'll both be like, okay, we can pay our Algini today. But I'll tell you what, I feel like it's a constant rat race for us because any day we come in here is not promised, and so there's really no like one. I don't know that I've set one.
Not like a huge thing, but when people come in and they're just like, I just love your space, and I love what you've done, like just like small compliments mean so much to us because it's like, oh, people like us.
And I think like when we got our sign up, when the sign went up on the building, it was like an aha moment for me, and it was like, okay, this is happening, like this is gonna happen. But like every day was such a grind. We didn't know if it was gonna happen, and we still don't know if it's gonna happen, and keep going the way that we want it to. But I think like Jamie said, people coming in here and being so complimentary of the space and what we're doing, it like gives us that push that we need to be like, okay, like the community likes it, people are liking this, maybe this will be okay.
Like maybe we'll be fine. And the space is like
gorgeous.
Like we really can't like we're really not exaggerating just to like be nice to your faces. Like it really is like so beautiful, and it's like if you all haven't been here, you'll know exactly what we're talking about as soon as you walk in. You'll be like
rustic meets like modern French country / they taught Joanna Gaines a thing too. It's zen beautiful,
and the fact that it just smells incredible when you walk in. Just immediately, I mean, we could just be in a blank white room, and I would just like. Because it smells incredible.
We are very critical of ourselves, so
I've been looking at this bookshelf behind you the whole time.
It's just like their office is even like gorgeous. It's like, what is happening?
Where would I get that?
Yeah.
No, it's beautiful. So my question is from the other side, the supportive role side, because my husband owns a business with his family, so I'm like the backside. So as your spouse or friends, what are you like, man, I love it when they do this, or I wish they would do more of this?
Good question.
Flexibility for me. Like I cringe when I know that my schedule changed and I'm going to be here 2 hours later than what I planned on it. And the moment that I hear on the other line, it's all right, like don't you worry, do what you need to do, it's like, oh God. It's like I just breathe because I'm trying to play so many roles and I hate not doing them all well. Like I want to be a wife and cook him dinner or send lunch with him in the morning, and I want to be a mom and be there when my daughter gets home. So I think just knowing that they are okay and they support us and whatever that looks like, and their flexibility is like priceless for me.
That 100%. Because it is the worst.
Like we're both like, ooh, you're gonna have to call Joe and tell him that, and we're both like, she'll get off the phone and she'll be like, that went surprisingly well.
Yeah, I think 100% that, and then being appreciative is such a big thing. Like, because we're doing 1 million things, getting the dishes done and the laundry done is a huge, huge deal.
I know.
Yeah.
This morning, my husband, he's always working. And so, at first, it would make me, like, mad. I'm like, it is 7 o'clock. Like, hello? And I'm like, you know what? He has so many stresses. Like, 7 o'clock, he calls me. He's like, I need to finish watching my trash TV before you get home, so I'll talk to you when you get home. Like, I know you don't want to watch Real Housewives, but I'm not stopping, so don't push pause on this. But, like, he did our laundry, and he hung my bra up. Like, he didn't put it in the dryer, and I was like, out of all the things you remember to hang up my bra. Like,
Impressive.
Applause, buddies. So
that's a really great question, actually. It's like
so
getting my spin, like wheels.
Well, it makes
spinning.
me remember too. Then I need to be appreciative back. And every so
and
often
what
you
it
do have
looks
to
like
stop
on
and
the
take a
other
look.
side, like for them. And I think we both know that it's not easy. I mean, it's like not easy when they've got to watch the kids all weekend. Jamie has 2 boys. I can't even watch one of them for like an hour without like being like, what am I going to do? So, I mean, just like knowing and reminding ourselves, okay, it's like, it's not easy on either side, and they're stressing in just the same amount, just in different ways. But
so what do you do to keep it like the importance of your relationship? Do you like go on date nights? Do you do things? What do you guys do that maybe you?
I am terrible about date nights. We just went on our first one on Friday, and that was like, I think in like 4 months we hadn't been on one. But we also have a 3-year-old that just we love so much that like, being with her is not a problem. We do a lot of house projects at home together. I think it's like one way for us both to like blend our passions together. Like he likes building things and I love creating. So we like are creating a little planner box for Riley or something like that in a way to where we can all be involved. And we both have dogs, so like we'll go to the park or something like that.
Joe likes house projects, but our boys would drill through their hands or something before they were able to do that together. So
gotta be safe for sure.
They're not calm and like they're so much fun, but it's not. It's like a full. You got to be watching them at all times because they will try to escape or hurt themselves.
Absolutely,
all the time. But Joe loves doing projects, and I think for sure, like if he can be productive and feel like he got something done, it's a total game changer. Like being home all day and not being able to do anything crushes his soul. So
I think that's like how women when they're housewives. It's like hello.
Yes, you're staring at the
it
mess.
Might be a little bit better about getting stuff done even with the kids.
Oh gosh, yes.
So it's nothing. No. Okay.
You're really good about sending Joe out though too. You'll be like, I'm coming home early. I'm gonna watch both the boys. You go out and do your thing.
That's pretty cool.
So I think, and Joe loves that. Like he needs his time.
We try to balance that between like date night and him going and being able to do stuff on his own. But paying a babysitter, like what we were talking about earlier, where you pay someone to do something. You're like, ooh, best money I ever spent. You just, because you have to. One of my friend's moms told me when we had kids, she was like, one of the biggest lessons I learned is you're still a person. Like you're a mom and you're a wife, but you still have to keep your individual identity. You can't just get lost in your kids because that's not fair to either one of you.
No. Have you seen Working Moms on Netflix?
Yes.
So good.
Yeah, I have not seen that, but you have talked about it before.
You guys remind me of that. Like you're living a legit, like real human life. You're a mom, you're a wife, and you are doing what makes you happy. Like you're literally living your best life, but you're doing it all. And I think that's really cool. I mean, I don't get to see like the behind the scenes side of things. But I just think that's so cool. Like there's more to it. I mean, there's single women that are starting their businesses too, but there's a lot of women that, we're so used to being at home and raising the kids and like these, what people think is supposed to be. And it's just not realistic anymore.
Yeah, right.
It's just not. And I'm so happy.
Yeah. Us too.
Thank heaven. So I think it's really cool to hear like that other side and the other perspective. Like, what do you need on the back side of this? What can be benefit? But I mean, when you're getting all that support, where are you able to find the inspiration for all of these things? Where do you guys go to build your inspiration reservoir?
I like that.
I know.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Chicago's definitely
smells.
awesome.
Yeah.
Chicago is definitely awesome. I literally will just like have a shop day to where I'll go to like Target and Home Goods and our house and
Can you
Pottery
call me
Barn.
next time you go?
Yes.
Like, well, I'll take
Our
it.
side,
I don't
ours
really
had a great
like
sale.
actually purchase anything. I just take pictures of it, and then Jamie tries to find it for cheaper because she's like the ultimate
Yeah.
bargain hunter.
amazing.
So if I'm like hitting a roadblock for a shoot, I feel like, okay, I gotta go out. Like, I'm not looking online. I gotta go out to the stores, and I just gotta like look and feel and see.
Yeah. Leigh does a really good job of finding like what's coming next. Like the
Well, thanks.
most like the several of the last shoots we've done are like she'll find something and then we'll do it and then it'll start coming out like in stores afterwards, which makes it a little bit harder for me to shop for. Right, come around, yeah.
Accessible.
You're so creative.
And then I have
these.
these. Jamie is great because I will like come in and I'll be like, I had this crazy dream about this installation. Can you figure out how to do that? And she'll be like, yeah, I'm right on it. And then she'll like do her magic and look and she'll source everything. So yeah, I'm able to walk in with an unrealistic dream and Jamie somehow figures out how to create that. And
That's
it's never
amazing.
exactly
Yeah.
the same, which is the beauty of it. But she's able to like figure it out.
Thanks, babe.
Welcome.
I feel like you guys like work so incredibly well together. Like I feel like even just in this room, like you guys like feed off of each other's energy. So what would you say to someone who maybe is starting their own business and looking to find a partner to go into business with? Like what
That's a scary.
key qualities, advice that you would give them to like find a really good partner to work with?
That's a tough one because I don't think I could find anyone else.
I know. I don't either. We like naturally found each other, but we have different strengths in the business realm that make this work well. Like she's great for retail sourcing and maybe not personal finances, but business finances.
Like keep track of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Either there, it's not.
yeah.
There's not really like a budget kind of thing.
Yeah. And I like love like branding and marketing and all that stuff. So I think when you're looking for a partner, you really have to think about, okay, like what are their strengths, what are my strengths, what are their weaknesses? Because I can't imagine if we're both walking into this situation with the same weakness. Maybe like accounting, which we can like outsource, but like if we both had no idea how to create a floor plan, it just wouldn't work.
Yeah.
And you know, that same difference, just like in a marriage, it's going to drive you crazy sometimes. Like we do things differently. Like she likes to unpack everything and leave it out, and I'm a cleaner up as you go. So like in a kitchen when she's cooking, like all the ingredients are out on the table.
Everyone's-
I clean up everything as I go because I don't like to see a mess. So
We like joke because we're like everything's black and white, and I always say like you're the yin to my yang because we're like very complimentary of each other.
Yeah.
I mean, she compliments me, but
then otherwise.
and she compliments me. But yeah, I totally agree. I can't imagine if we both came in and were just like, I don't know, trying to do the same thing. It just wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So I think definitely finding someone that your personality meshes with well, and that you can be around basically 24 hours a day. Because if we're not together, we're probably sending messages to each other.
Yeah.
But then also that someone like from a technical perspective does different things than what you do.
Yeah. And make you laugh. I mean, like, we probably laugh 80% of the day. Like, I don't even care if anybody else thinks she's funny. I think she's funny, and that's what gets me through the day. Like, when you are high stressed, Jamie thinks that she has the best singing voice in town, but every time she tries to sing, it makes me laugh, and like that is super important. It's just like not taking yourself too seriously.
Oh my gosh, we would have died this year.
Yeah. And just being able to like enjoy each other's company. Like if you can sit there in silence and still find comfort in that, if you can laugh at each other after a 48-hour day, it's like, it's seriously like a marriage. So
We do joke all the time.
That's amazing.
That is
awesome.
So you keep talking about like this year has been really hard. Can you kind of like bring us into this world and how you've combat that? Because nobody really likes to talk about that. No one really likes to talk about cash flow and floating money and doing all these things. I'm like, well, we can put this on a credit card and then they'll pay that back next week. I freaking hope so. Nobody talks about that. But I mean, like, what are these struggles that you guys have to lean on each other to overcome and beat and get to where you're at now?
I think laughter for sure, because if we seriously sat down
and looked at our salary for this year,
like,
we would cry.
It's not funny.
Yeah.
But I think we partially are just like, there's no other alternative. Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna work because it's gonna work, because I can't imagine myself doing something else.
Yeah.
Like, especially now that we've been our own bosses, we're like, we couldn't walk back into an office without crying.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the thought of that is just not a possibility. So
Yeah.
I think we just figure out where we want to be, and then we do whatever it takes to get there.
Yeah. I mean, there's moments of time where we both look at each other and we're like, it's going to be okay, right? Right? And, like, one of us has just got to be the the one that says, yes, it is, in that moment, just because, I mean, there's some days, and even in this business, specifically at Marketplace, where nobody comes through that door. And so it's like, is this just a fad? Is tomorrow going to be something new that moves in? I mean, like, we see businesses shutting down all the time, and now we pay more attention to it. It's like, you know, when frozen yogurt went on in like a craze, and then 20 of them opened and 15 of them shut down. It's like, but we are constantly using our creativity to make sure that does not happen. Every month we need a new experience in here every day. And I think those are the times where we're like, okay, like, we're going to make this work financially, physically, like, and that's why we got our liquor license, because if all else fails, we're just going to sell booze.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean,
So
like,
beer and wine.
yeah, so come by. But even in our design business, like, even wedding industry, like, stuff, we'll be in the middle of an install and everything will go wrong. Like, every single thing will go wrong, and we will be, like, pushing it to the last 20 seconds. And that's why it's like, having a business partner is so critical, because, like, we have so many friends that just do it by themselves, and I'm like, how are you reassuring yourself that you're gonna make it through that moment, that day, that situation, with nobody sitting there like saying we're gonna do it, you know? Like,
you just listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
Right. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, we want to give you all a minute to actually plug Maddox and Rose. If there's any like new experiences that are coming up this month you want to tell people about, do a little like sales pitch. I mean, we've told like everyone that we know about it, but this is your time. Let's do a little plug for Maddox and Rose. Tell the people why they should come in.
Well, thank you for telling people about it.
Yes.
Of course.
Huge.
Yes.
We do have some exciting things happening, which we've been planning for a little bit, but we sat down and really planned out our fall, which we both are so excited about fall.
Yeah,
hopefully everybody shares our
seasonal
enthusiasm.
dorks.
We both have October birthdays, so we kind of think it's the best time of year in general.
Yes.
But we are launching, so we have 70 cents at the store right now, but we're launching our fall scents, which are going to be so much fun. We've got mulled cider, and of course pumpkin spice,
Right.
whipped cream, autumn leaves.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun. New fall scents coming first week in October.
And with that, some new product, some like exciting new things that we think everybody's going to love. I think the seasonal stuff with us is going to be huge. We're always going to be finding new ways to incorporate that and events in this space that we have lined up, and I think it's just going to be starting now through the rest of the year. There's just going to be like constant stuff happening. So follow our Instagram account. That's pretty much where we push everything. And stay tuned.
That's
Yay.
awesome. Which your Instagram is at Maddox and Rose. Is that
And
it?
at Maddox and Rose Marketplace, right?
Yes.
That's what it is. Okay. Cool.
There's
So
two
follow
of them.
both.
Yeah.
Follow the That's amazing. So this is our little like yoga time at the end of every pod that you can literally just like say whatever you want. If there's anything that you're really passionate about, or if you're like, I really wanted to say like this to like an entrepreneur starting their business, or I just wanted to say I watched the Emmys last night and I love this dress. Like, you can really just whatever you want. You get a little like spotlight at the end. If there's anything we missed and didn't talk about, feel free to bring it up now at this time.
Gosh, I just want to tell anybody out there that's even considering remotely starting their own business or doing something that they've been thinking about, just don't second guess it. A lot of people will call me impulsive. I think it's just me not allowing fear to get in the way. I know too many people that have thought about doing something for so many years and they've talked themselves out of it. And I just think where there's a will, there's a way. And we are always open to talk to people. People Instagram us all the time asking us if we have advice or if we can help them with anything, and we are always open to doing that.
For sure. And if you want to bounce ideas or if you want to cry, you can always come here.
We're going to cry.
Yeah, we're always going to cry.
Yeah,
Make a
big deal.
candle of
Just
tears.
make a candle,
Yeah.
have a glass of wine, have a good cry.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
That's what we're here for.
That's like all I want to do ever. So perfect. Awesome. Well, Jamie, Leigh, thank you both for sitting down with us today. We know your time is valuable, so we really appreciate you. If you all feel so inclined, please come and visit Maddox and Rose. It's amazing. It's on Main. Okay, I was like, is this Market or Main? It's on Main Street in Nulu. You make the little weird turn from Baxter. It's like the second block on the left. It's gorgeous. It's amazing. It's a really fun experience. Bring your friends. Have a nice day out. Do like a bachelorette party.
Day.
Do whatever you want. Have a day here.
Yeah.
So, and follow them at Maddox and Rose and at Maddox and Rose Marketplace. And follow us, CJ and Sell Podcast. Leave us a review. Rate us. It helps us. And we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.